Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your SmackDown Mixed Match Challenge and 205 Live spoilers for this week. Hopefully I can get them uploaded before it won't be called a spoiler. We got birthdays for December 11th and 12th. Rey Mysterio Jr. is born 1974. He was born December 11th. Also James Ellsworth, 1984. December 12th birthday, Sabu, 1964. December 12th, also Flip Gordon, 1991. I was at the Main Event Pro Wrestling event over the weekend, and I didn't get all the names of the wrestlers, but thanks to help from a guy that I met by the name of Bryce Boudreaux. And he does pro wrestling interviews, and you can find him on the accounts here, and the experience, what it's called. And he did give me some of the names. Well, for that, the 2019 WWE Fastlane pay-per-view has been confirmed for the Q Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. Tickets go on sale today, being Wednesday, December 12th, in Cleveland, Ohio. And the event is on March the 10th, 2019. Pre-sale is going on, and this will be the final WWE pay-per-view before WrestleMania 35. And WWE has revealed an exclusive tip from John Cena in this link in the new Bumblebee movie, Transformers spinoff, that hits the theaters on December 21st. Cena stars as Jack Burns, a Sector 7 agent. As they announced on Raw, Finn Balor is injured, according to WWE. No word yet on what kind of injury Balor is suffering, but WWE noted on Raw that he was not there. The storyline is that Balor was injured by Drew McIntyre on last week's Raw. Balor vs. McIntyre is still scheduled for Sunday's WWE TLC pay-per-view, and WWE noted that during Raw, that Balor will be good to go by then. But the real reason is that Balor is sick. And WWE has announced that Apollo Crews will be replacing Balor in the Mixed Match Challenge episode that airs after SmackDown. Crews and Bayley will face Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox. Balor worked Wednesday's WWE live event in Santiago, Chile, and participated in a triple threat with Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler, which McIntyre won. Balor then left the tour on Thursday and returned home because he was sick. Balor has not tweeted about being injured, but he did write the following on missing the live event in Buenos Aires. At Finn Balor, for everyone, at Finn Balor, I'm sorry I could not perform in WWE Buenos Aires. Lo siento, no pude competir in WWE Buenos Aires. I guess he's multilingual. Balor is reportedly dealing with an illness, not an injury. According to PW Insider, WWE noted on Raw that Balor will be good to go for Sunday's match with Drew McIntyre at WWE TLC. And word backstage is that they expect him to be ready for the pay-per-view. Balor. It's interesting to note that Dolph Ziggler apparently wiped his Twitter account clean. No tweets. The only tweet that was left on the page as of this writing, or this video, is a reply from a Twitch stream from Tyler Breeze, as you can hear below. Next, Ziggler started deleting the tweets earlier this afternoon and did so fairly quickly, indicating he used some sort of app to clean everything up. Ziggler even deleted a new tweet that he made to announce some upcoming stand-up comedy dates. Ziggler, who is trying to make it in the comedy and TV world outside WWE, cleaned his account up at a time when professional athletes and celebrities are dealing with issues as people are uncovering somewhat controversial tweets that they made years ago. At at Hill Ziegler. You can follow him on Twitter. At MMM Gorgeous, Prince Pretty. Guys, now, at this link, the twitch.tv, hashtag the sweets 100. I'll post that link. The next round of WWE 4% tryouts have been confirmed for this week in Orlando. According to PW Insider, the following names have been confirmed for the tryouts. I'll have more details from the camp, but the names I got was Northeast Independent Wrestler Penelope Ford, age 26, worked the All-In pay-per-view earlier this year and challenged NWA Women's Champion Jazz at the NWA 70 event. Former MMA fighter Eric Spicely, age 32, competed in the UFC middleweight division, had trained for pro wrestling and worked indies in the Northeast. NPCC bodybuilder Courtney Lemmings, age 22, former high school volleyball player who has done modeling and acting. Former University of Maryland football player Tahuti Miles, age 28, previously participated in WWE tryouts at the Performance Center. And that rounds out the tryouts. News that Dakota Kai has suffered some sort of knee injury at Friday's NXT Live event in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Yeah, the Cheese City, Green Bay. Cheesehead City. F4W Online reports that Kai underwent an MRI on Monday, but there's no word yet on the specifics of the injury. It was believed over the weekend that Kai tore her ACL. We hope to have other updates on Kai soon. As it's now Wednesday, I haven't gotten anything other than that. Jason Jordan was in Birmingham, Alabama last week to get his neck evaluated by doctors. According to PW Insider, Raw Superstar has been out of action since February after undergoing neck surgery. Jordan has been working backstage as a producer since he was able to travel on the road. The NXT UK star, Toni Storm, was recently interviewed by Metro Sport at this link. You can read the full interview by clicking that link, but here are the highlights. That is such a I was asked who is the best wrestler in the world. That is such a tough one right now. You've got the likes of Daniel Bryan and Finn Balor, but I'll tell you who's coming up right now. Who's going to take that soon? Pete Dunne. I think he's on his way to becoming the best in the world. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's an absolute professional, and he has been doing it since he was a kid. He's just fantastic. Who is the most underrated wrestler? I know it's probably the obvious choice, but my fiance, Chris Ridgway, is incredible. And he's doing really well on the UK indie scene. He needs to be seen all over the world. I watch his stuff a lot. I had a match with him a few months ago, and he is literally world class. It would be glad if we could see his face a lot more. If Ronda Rousey versus Becky Lynch should headline WrestleMania, absolutely 100%. Imagine that. It should be absolutely headlining WrestleMania. There are two of the toughest women in the world. That's exactly what I want to see at WrestleMania. Toni also discussed her thoughts on intergender matches, her dream tag team partner, the best advice she's been given, and more. Matt Hardy seemingly announced his in-ring retirement a couple of months ago with a YouTube video in which he said he was going home. That doesn't mean retiring, people. Hardy hasn't wrestled since August, and many are curious if his 25-year-plus wrestling career has come to an end. Akhilesh Ganavarapu of Wrestling Inc. asked that question to Hardy, and the Woken One gave some hope to those looking forward to an in-ring return. And that can be found in this link. And here's what he said. There's not a set timeline for me returning. Whenever I was going home, there were some issues. Some nagging injuries I was dealing with. I had to go home and do some rehabilitation, said Hardy. Hardy then said, it's tougher at his age to hang with the young guys in the ring, but the rehab he did do had a better than expected result. As far as the timeline of when I'm going to return, I don't have an exact timetable, but I would say sooner than later, Hardy revealed. Hardy's last storyline in WWE involved Bray Wyatt. First as an adversary, and then later as a tag team partner and the leader of the World Tag Team. Hardy discussed what it was like working with Wyatt and what it would have if he would change with their gimmick. What he would have changed with their gimmick. I loved working with Bray, and I loved teaming with Bray as well, said Hardy. In a perfect world, if Bray and I would have been in full control of what we were doing, it would have been done a little differently. One thing that I totally respect about Bray is how he's very committed to do what he does. If you have an over-the-top persona in wrestling, you really have to commit to be believable, and he was doing good at doing that. He's a very talented guy. Between working with him and teaming with him, we also became great friends. I'm excited to see what he leads up to doing next. Guess who was backstage at SmackDown tapings? Hall of Famer Jeff Jarrett, Double J. He was at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. It appears that Jeff was just visiting because he was already in town for the minor league baseball winter meetings at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, as you hear in the tweets below following. At the real Jeff Jarrett, great to meet you, Jamie. Hashtag winter meetings, at MILB, at GFW Wrestling. At Jamie Toole, great meeting, my man. At real Jeff Jarrett, at MILB, at winter meetings. At Arish Markazi, you never know who you'll run into at the baseball winter meetings. Always good seeing, my man. At real Jeff Jarrett, hope to see you soon at Karen Jarrett. Rumor mill went to work earlier this week after drug testing data on WWE Universal Champion Brock Lesnar supposedly went missing from the United States Anti-Drug Doping Agency, USADA, website. ESPN reported that USADA has acknowledged that a recent technical glitch led to an inaccurate data. An update made back in mid-October showed that Lesnar had submitted 6 drug tests in 2018, which was false. That number was recently changed to just 5. USADA stated that the original update was flawed, and the current figure reflects the accurate number of tests Lesnar had submitted in 2018, 5. ESPN adds that it appears that Lesnar was the only athlete affected by the glitch. Supposedly, so somebody's got something to do with that glitch. Somebody's been paid, my guess, my prediction. But you only heard it here first. USADA updates all testing data in an athlete test history database on a public website throughout the year. The database does not include results, but it does show how many times a UFC fighter or Olympic athlete has been tested that year. And here it goes. From the report, USADA updates the athlete's test history page of the UFC/USADA website on a weekly basis. USADA spokesperson Adam Wollard told ESPN during an update on the week of October 15th. We experienced a technical issue that resulted in the information on the page being displayed incorrectly. The correct test history for the athlete is 1 test that week, not 2. The issue has been fixed, and the testing numbers on the website are accurate now. We are still investigating the specific technical issue that led to the error. Somebody change it. Jeff Notitsky, UFC's vice president of athlete health and performance, told ESPN that they have no concerns over the glitch. I have access to a more specific database than the public, which displays the date a sample is collected, what type of sample it is, and what the results are. As soon as they are available, Nowitzki says, the public website, as I understand it, indicated there has been 2 tests during the last quarter, and it recently dropped to 1. I've always seen 1 test in this quarter for Lesnar. It was a urine test, and it came back negative. Nowitzki also said that he is comfortable with how USADA tested Lesnar since he re-entered the testing pool back in the summer. This program has a limited amount of resources and funding. Newcomers said it would be great to test everybody every week, but that would cost millions and millions of dollars. To put it in a nutshell, I have all the confidence in the world. USADA is allocating these testing resources appropriately. Lesnar has not fought for UFC since 2016, but he re-entered the UFC testing pool back in July of this year. It's rumored that he will face UFC champion Daniel Cormier in early 2019, but that fight is far from confirmed. Lesnar would be eligible to compete on or after January 8th. Lesnar is expected to defend his Universal title against Braun Strowman at Royal Rumble pay-per-view January 27th. Drew McIntyre, Elias, Apollo Crews, Big E, Charlotte Flair, the Usos, Kalisto, Kofi Kingston, and Sasha Banks stopped by FBE for the latest episode of their hit series React, which can be found at this link. They were shown a collection of funny clips and were tasked with not laughing. Elias was the only wrestler to make it through all clips without cracking up. So he won that battle. Sasha and Apollo were in last place, were laughing during 7 clips, while McIntyre wasn't far behind as he broke during 6. WWE previously announced a match for SmackDown, Naomi versus Mandy Rose for tonight's SmackDown episode in Las Vegas, but that match did not happen. And here's a video of SmackDown General Manager explaining why the match was removed. As she was talking to Mike Rome about why the match didn't take place. Paige blames it on The Miz, who booked a tag team match with SmackDown General Commissioner Shane McMahon against enhancement talents, the Vegas Boys. The storyline was that The Miz organized the match without asking Shane or Paige. It sounds like Rose versus Naomi will take place next Tuesday night. The Miz is actually what happened. He's making matches that I didn't even know what was going to happen. So obviously the ladies couldn't be a part of it. But what I do know is that Mandy and Naomi is not over. See you next week, Paige said. WWE take the following matches live from Las Vegas to air for 205 Live. WWE Cruiserweight Champion Buddy Murphy defeated Grand Metalik in a non-title match, said to be a tremendous match. Cedric Alexander defeated Toni, the premier athlete, supposedly. SmackDown opened up with a video package hyping Asuka versus Charlotte Flair and WWE Champion Daniel Bryan versus Mustafa Ali. We're live from T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. And Tom Phillips welcomes us to the show, chimed in by Corey Graves and Byron Tackton. We go right to the ring. Out comes WWE Champion Daniel Bryan. As Greg Hamilton does his formal ring introductions, we see a clip from last week when Bryan tried to injure the leg of AJ Styles ahead of the TLC match of Sunday. Fans are booing Bryan as he takes the mic and looks around the crowd. Bryan says he called everyone sheep last week and he wants to come out and apologize now. Apologize to the sheep that don't deserve to be compared to you idiots. Bryan says that the sheep aren't the ones destroying the earth with mindless consumption and their carbon footprints. Bryan says that the fans aren't like sheep, they're more like parasites. Oh, if he doesn't like carbon footprint, how about paying attention to Matt Morgan in his carbon footprint, blueprint, whatever you want to call it, as he also does his own podcast as well. Well, Daniel Sucks chant charged up from the crowd. Bryan responds with a pickle, like it was when he was Team Hell No. Fickle, calls everything fickle. And goes on about how fans take and never giving anything back, like parasites, especially here in Las Vegas. Bryan isn't surprised because the fans latched onto the old Daniel Bryan and the Yes Movement, living vicariously through him. Guess what? The old Daniel Bryan is dead, and the Yes Movement is dead. But just like any parasite, the fans have moved on to the next fickle, Phil, and now they all reside on the couch in the house that AJ Styles built. Bryan raises the title and says he is the WWE champion, not AJ. Bryan says he will crush AJ's dreams of becoming WWE Champion again at TLC on Sunday. Bryan says at the end of the match, the WWE Champion will be the new Daniel Bryan. Fans boo. You don't believe him? Fans respond to a no chant. Bryan goes on and knocking the fans, calling him idiots. And the music interrupts and out comes Mustafa Ali. And this is why I call the Borgasm chants, because he's going back from good guy, yes, good guy, bad guy, no. Borgasm, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Get my point? There you go. And I even changed his finisher to the Borgasm lock. Ali has a mic and walks the ring. Bryan introduces Ali, and he says he is the heart of 205 Live. He is an incredible performer. Bryan tells Ali that he is an incredible performer. Bryan says he sees a lot of himself in Ali. Bryan wants to give Ali some advice. They don't need to have this match tonight. Bryan says after the match, the people won't care because they're too self-absorbed, too xenophobic, too consumed with mindless consumption. Fans give Bryan the what treatment. Bryan says the truth is, these fickle people don't deserve this match. Fans boo, and Bryan responds with a fickle chant. Ali asks Bryan what happened to him. Ali says Bryan inspired him and made him realize it was possible to become a WWE superstar. Ali then talks about guys in the back looking up to him and about how he had heart. Ali says Bryan keeps talking about the old Daniel Bryan, but the old Daniel Bryan would have fought, and that's what Ali wants to do, fight. A fight chant breaks out from the crowd. Bryan asks Ali what kind of car he drives. Ali says he drives an SUV. Bryan calls it small, a little man, and asks why he would drive in an SUV. Ali says he has a wife and 2 small children. Bryan interrupts with a slap to the face, sending Ali to the mat. Bryan calls him ignorant and keeps hitting him. Ali fights back and gets the upper hand. Ali knocks Bryan out of the ring and drops him. Kicks him back to the floor. Ali goes to the top and leaps out, taking Bryan back down on the floor. Ali returns to the ring and plays to the crowd for a big pop as we go to commercial. And the match officially starts after the break. And this is the first time ever non-title match is already underway. Bryan drops Ali and works him over while talking trash. Yeah, non-title for the first time by Bryan. Bad guy. They don't want him to defend his title. Bryan takes Ali to the corner and beats him down. Bryan keeps Ali down and works him around the ring. Taking his time, Bryan starts working on the left leg. Bryan keeps control and stomps on Ali's back. Bryan plays to the crowd for boos. Bryan with the kicks to the chest while Ali is on his knees. So I will call that the Borgasm kicks. Some fans chant yes while he kicks. Ali avoids the last kick and drops Bryan for a 2 count. Bryan retreats to the floor. Ali with a baseball side, sending Bryan back out into the barrier. Ali launches himself over the top rope, but Bryan ends up catching him and sending him face first into the steel ring post. Back to commercial. Back for the break. We see Bryan has Ali in the Borgasm lock in the middle of the ring. Ali makes it to the bottom rope to break the hold. We see replays of how Ali hit a top rope Spanish fly during the commercial break. Ali ends up missing the 450. Bryan goes back to work on the leg, slams it into the ring post. Bryan ends up applying the heel hook for the submission win. After the match, Bryan attacked Ali on the ramp, beats him up some more. Bryan applies the heel hook submission again until referees come and break it up. Bryan takes the WWE title, raises it on the ramp as his music plays. Crowd responds with loud boos. Announcers go over the card for TLC. We go back to the ring, and it's time for the rap battle. Out comes a New Day, Kobe Kingston, Big E, and Xavier Woods. No, it's not a triple threat battle, rap battle. But you got the back from a commercial break. Usos, Jimmy and Jay are out. Also out. SmackDown Team Champions of Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. The New Day are in between the two guys as they are the judges and hosting the rap battle. Cesaro and Sheamus are dressed like Run DMC from the 1980s. New Day mentioned how they will become the champions against TLC on Sunday. Big E says, for some ungodly reason, the Bar requested this battle, so they are up first. The bar channels their inner Vanilla Ice with their own version of his Ice Ice Baby hit. It's horrible. The Usos are up next. They take shots at the champions, but their bars aren't much better. This leads to a you look stupid chant at Sheamus. Usos' rap goes long as they go to make a threat for Sunday, but the bar attacks. Usos avoid the attack, causing the bar to hit the floor. New Day faces off with the Usos in the middle of the ring. The bar attacks from behind. Sheamus hits a road kick of Big E, and they double team Jimmy. Sheamus as always the titles in the middle of the ring while standing over Usos. Announces hype. Asuka versus Charlotte for later. We go back for a pre-recorded video from Asuka. She talks about striking until she wins the title on Sunday at TLC, but first she will defeat Charlotte tonight. Still to come segment, Rusev and Jeff Hardy tag team versus Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. And my brother said, what? To this match? They made a match? Well, I guess my brother didn't know that Rusev is a good guy now. Back from the break, Miz is in the ring with the World Cup trophy. He says this week he has custody of the trophy, but he wants SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon to come out so Miz can get some things off his chest. Miz says they don't make me beg. He gives in and begs, dropping to one knee. Miz says this is about life choices and so much more than Shane knows. He asks Shane to please come out. The money music hits, and out comes Shane as he makes his way out. Fan chant for Shane as he gives his shout about to Las Vegas, face style. Shane asks Miz why he's out here. Miz mentions how Shane hasn't returned his calls or texts this week. Then goes on about how they could be something big together in WWE. Miz says they could be the best tag team in the world. Shane says this whole thing with the trophy is getting a little weird. Miz says this isn't about the trophy. It's about much more. Miz says he's going to do something he's never told anyone before. He calls for a referee to come out. Fans chant for Shane again as the referee enters the ring. Shane says he's a little confused. Miz says tonight he and Shane will face two of the finest from Las Vegas. Out come two local enhancement talents, Chip and Chad, the Vegas boys. Haven't gotten their names yet, but if I do, I'll post it on next week's show. Vegas boys versus Miz and Shane. Bell rings and the Vegas boys immediately attack Shane from behind, leaving him out near their corner, right in front of the Miz, who is still holding the trophy. Shane fights both jobbers off, throwing one of them out of the ring. Shane fights the other jobber into the corner and drops him. Shane, wearing jeans and a polo shirt, drops the guy again and botches it. Shane ends up applying a triangle choke for the submission win. The match took like a minute and a half. Winner of this match, Shane McMahon and The Miz. Of course, Miz did not get any offense or attack in the match. After the match, Shane looks up at The Miz like he's useless as he never tagged in. Miz enters the ring and runs a victory lap with the trophy in the air. So comes second, Asuka versus Flair, back to commercial. Back from the break, SmackDown General Manager Paige is in her office yelling at the referee for officiating this last match without her permission. He blames it on The Miz. Vegas boys walk in and hand her an invoice for $5,000. Paige rips it up in their faces. We go to the ring. Out comes Randy Orton. Orton grabs a steel chair from ringside and brings it in the ring for the announcers. Hype Orton versus Rey Mysterio in the chairs match at TLC on Sunday. Orton says there's nothing like a good old steel chair, especially for making a statement or sending a message. Orton tells the producers to roll the tape, and they finally start showing a replay of Orton taking Rey's mask 3 weeks ago and wrapping the chair around his neck. Orton says that was good but we can do better, right? Fans pop and agree. Orton tells them to roll the tape again, and we see footage from last week where Orton drove the chair into Rey's throat. Orton can't believe Rey knows what he can do and is still okay with facing him in a chairs match at TLC. Orton says Rey is a victim, and he's Orton's victim. And victims never get revenge. Once a victim, always a victim, he says. Orton hypes TLC and says Rey only needs to be concerned with the three most devastating letters in WWE. RK. Well, didn't get a chance to say the O. Ray suddenly attacked from behind with a chair and laid Orton out. Ray then worked over Orton and nailed 619. Orton retreated up the ramp as Ray looked on from the ring, taunting him with a chair. Taylor back to stop SmackDown champion Becky Lynch. And victims never get... stopped Becky Lynch backstage and asked if Asuka and Charlotte Flair taking each other out tonight is an advantage for Sunday TLC match. Becky gives Flair and Asuka some props and says that there's no advantage for her because her first match back is against them both. Becky goes on and reveals that she will be watching tonight's match from ringside, scouting. Becky says that she can't wait to remind the world just how much chaos can happen when the man comes around. Becky walks off. So it comes segment, Joe and Nakamura versus Hardy and Rusev. Back to commercial. Rusev and Hardy versus Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura was up next. Back from the break, out first comes Jeff Hardy along with Rusev and Lana. Samoa Joe was out first for his team, followed by Shinsuke Nakamura. The bell rings, but Carmella and R-Truth interrupt from the ramp. All four wrestlers just watching from the ring, and they call for a dance break as the music hits. They stop dancing and tell everyone to proceed. Nakamura takes advantage of the distraction and kicks Hardy in the head from behind. Nakamura then drives knees into Hardy on the mat now. Joe tags in and keeps up the attack, but Hardy fights him off. Joe rolls to the floor as Hardy is out with him. Joe counters a shot and launches Hardy into the barrier. We go to commercial. Back from the break, Joe keeps control of Hardy. Joe drops Hardy with a big kick in the corner. Nakamura tags in and works Hardy over, kicking him near their corner. Nakamura places Hardy on the top turnbuckle and drives a knee to the gut. Nakamura with a 2 count. Joe tags back in, kicks Hardy in the gut. Joe puts a knee into Hardy's back, kicking him grounded in the middle of the ring and talking trash. Fans start chanting for Hardy as he fights up. Joe avoids a twist of fate, but Hardy keeps fighting. Hardy goes to the top, hits a whisper in the wind as Rusev cheers him on. Fans do the Rusev take chant. Nakamura and Rusev tag in at the same time. Rusev levels Nakamura, unloads with strikes. Rusev with a splash against the ropes. Rusev goes on and hits a fallaway slam for a pop. Rusev with a running shoulder into the corner, and then a spin kick. Machka kick. Rusev lands tall and poses for a pop. Rusev gets back up and fights. Nakamura gets back up and fights Rusev off with back elbows. Rusev drops him with another kick to the head for a 2 count as Joe breaks it to pinfall. Hardy comes in with a twist of fate, and Joe retreats to the floor. Hardy runs and leaps off the apron, taking Joe back down to the floor, working back and forth in the ring. Nakamura avoids the accolade. Rusev ends up flooring Nakamura with a big jumping kick for the pin and win. Machka kick. Winner of the match, Rusev and Jeff Hardy. After the match, Lana enters the ring to celebrate with Rusev and Hardy. They raise their arms in the middle of the ring as Rusev's music hits. Even Lana was pointing at Jeff Hardy and smiling. Shane McMahon approaches the Miz backstage, takes the World Cup trophy away, and says his behavior has crossed the line, including paying people to attack and tricking a referee into calling a match. Miz admits he did cross the line and goes on getting fired up, saying he's done a lot in his career, but he's never considered the best in the world until Shane came along. Miz extends his hand for a shake and says, please. Shane just walks off. As the others do no. Fans boo as Shane walks off with Miz looking on, stunned at him. Back from the break, we get the latest coming soon video from Lars Sullivan. Tom leaves this video package for AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan at TLC. Kayla backstage with AJ now, asking if he's prepared to take the WWE title back on Sunday. AJ says he's beating his time because no one wants to beat the heck out of Bryan like he does. AJ knew if he attacked Bryan earlier, then Bryan wouldn't be able to compete on Sunday at TLC. AJ goes on about the new Daniel Bryan and says there's only one AJ, and he knows how aggressive he needs to get on Sunday to take the title back as AJ walks off. Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. We go to the ring, and out comes Asuka for tonight's main event, a rematch for from WrestleMania 35, back to commercial. Back from the break, Kayla Braxton's backstage with Charlotte Flair, asking about tonight's main event and women's TLC triple threat on Sunday. Flair says tonight, Asuka and the Man will get a preview of what will happen to them on Sunday when they bow down to the Queen. Flair walks off and heads to the ring, making her way out as they're standing right at the curtain to make her entrance. Flair and Asuka await for the match to begin, but the music interrupts. Out comes SmackDown Women's Champion Becky Lynch to a pop. The bell rings and they size each other up for a second. Flair charges with a boot, but Asuka moves and goes to work as Becky watches from her chair at ringside. Flair blocks a hip attack, but Asuka drops her and tries to lock in a knee bar. Flair gets free and they size each other up again. Flair with stiff shots. Asuka counters and hits a big German suplex. Flair dodges a hip attack and drops Asuka. Flair goes to the top for a moonsault, but Asuka gets her knees up. Asuka turns a moonsault counter into an Asuka lock attempt, but Flair resists. Flair stands up with Asuka on her back. Flair drives Asuka back into the mat. Asuka pulls Flair into the Asuka lock in the middle of the ring, but Flair resists, and Asuka tries to get locked in again. Flair makes it to the bottom rope for the escape, and the hold is broken. We go back to the commercial. Back from the break, they trade shots in the middle of the ring. Asuka unloads. Flair goes for a neck breaker, but it's blocked. Asuka with a standing submission in the middle of the ring. More back and forth on the mat. Asuka with an armbar, tightening the hold with Flair face down. Becky watches from ringside. Flair looks to break free, but Asuka pulls her back into a triangle. Flair punches to the face. Asuka keeps the hold locked. Flair powers up and nails a sit-down powerbomb for a 2 count. Flair and Asuka stare each other down as they get up from their knees, taunting each other. Flair with a slap and some trash talking. Flair escapes a pin attempt and applies a figure 4 in the middle of the ring. Flair screams at Asuka to tap to the figure 4. Asuka finally reverses it, and the hold is broken as Becky looks on. Flair goes to work on Asuka's left leg with a submission now. Flair pulls Asuka back, but Asuka kicks her. Flair drops a knee onto Asuka's leg and keeps her grounded with another submission. Flair with more strikes, but she can't put away Asuka. Flair drags Asuka over and slams her leg into the ring post near Becky. Flair comes back in and covers for a 2 count. Asuka counters a figure 4 with a quick pin attempt. Flair nails some chops as they fight on their feet. Asuka with a takedown and a kick to the back. Flair goes for the spear, but Asuka drops her into knees for another close 2 count. Asuka with kicks while Flair is on her knees. Flair blocks a kick that Asuka comes right back with another. Asuka with forearm to the head and neck now. Asuka with kicks to the face. Toying with Flair while Flair is still on her knees. Asuka runs the rope, but Flair stops her with a spear. Asuka still kicks out at 2 as the man watches from the edge of her seat. Fans start dueling chants as Flair goes back to the top for the moonsault. Flair misses it and immediately goes for the figure 4. Asuka turns around with an Asuka lock. Flair powers up with Asuka on her back again. They both tumble out of the ring in front of Becky. Fan chant for Becky now. Flair crawls to under the ring and brings out a kendo stick from under the ring and nails Asuka with it for the disqualification finish. Winner by DQ, Asuka. After the bell, Flair keeps swinging the stick at Asuka while she's down. Becky stands up from her chair, clutching the title, looking down at Flair. Becky walks away, but turns around as Flair charges with a kendo stick shot to the knee. Becky goes down from the kendo stick shot from Flair. As Flair goes back to working on Asuka with a kick, but Becky comes from behind and attacks her. Becky sends Flair into the steel ring steps. Becky grabs the kendo stick herself and unloads on Flair with it. Becky turns around and Asuka kicks her in the gut. Asuka then tosses Becky over the announce table. Asuka grabs the stick and raises it in the air. Asuka unloads on Flair with the kendo stick as Asuka hits Becky with the stick while she's on top of the announce table. Asuka with more kendo stick shots to Flair and Lynch. And SmackDown goes off the air with Asuka standing tall. Mixed Match Challenge results. Tonight features the semifinals for both Raw and SmackDown brands, with the winners advancing to TLC. And the winners will get a vacation, paid vacation. Miz and Asuka versus R-Truth and Carmella. And Bayley and Apollo Crews replacing Finn Balor versus Alicia Fox and Jinder Mahal. The two teams moving on will meet this Sunday at TLC with the opportunity to get the 30th spot in the men and women's Battle Royal matches in January. So it's either going to be number 30, Apollo Crews, or number 30, Jinder Mahal. The winner of the match for Sunday. Neither one of them. Mahal and Crews get things are going, but Fox and Bayley are in shortly after. Bayley drops Fox, heads out to the floor, starts yelling at everyone. And by the way, don't you can watch this on Facebook Watch. She heads out to the floor and starts yelling at everyone. She wants her vacation. Fox finally gets back in the ring. Bayley with a drop toe hold. Fox gets back on her feet, lands a couple of forearms. Bayley gets into the corner. Fox charges in, gets lifted up and dropped into the top turnbuckle. Fox tags in Mahal, who gets his time getting into the ring. Mahal goes for a kick, gets caught, but ends up sending Crews into the corner. Crews flips away from Mahal, avoids him again, and hip tosses Mahal. Crews with a standing moonsault, lands on his feet. Mahal with a jumping knee, covers for a 2 count. Any action can be found at that link. At WB comments, at WWE Apollo, out here showing, hashtag WBMFC, what he's all about. Mahal with some more knees, and he wears down Crews. Fox yelling vacation in the corner. Mahal with a clothesline as he continues to keep Crews grounded. Crews finally gets up and hits an insecurity. Bayley cheers on her partner. Gets tagged in, lands a couple of clotheslines. Bayley with a back elbow in the corner and a flurry of punches in the corner. Side suplex, knees to the face. And this action. At Total Diva Saps comments, Captain at Alicia Foxy is always a step ahead. Bayley continues the offense with a cutter on the ropes. Bayley to belly hits. Cover. Singh brothers yank Fox out of the ring. Crews off the steps to take out both brothers. Crews with a moonsault off the apron to drop them again. Bayley to belly on both brothers. But Mahal with a super kick on Crews on the floor. Bayley with a suicide dive on Mahal. Get back in the ring. Fox hits a super kick. Covers. And that'll do it. Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox advance to the finals at GLC. For your number 30 matches will be either Jinder Mahal or Alicia Fox versus your winners. Backstage, Keller Braxton talks with Mahal and Fox about if they thought this day would come. Mahal says he did because he visualized this ever since the beginning. Mahal says he sees the brothers and Fox on the beach. Fox says the brothers aren't coming, and the only reason they are headed to the finals is because she's the captain. Asuka barges in and says she will win. Laughs and heads to the ring. The Miz and Asuka versus R-Truth and Carmella. Miz and Asuka argue about who will start the match. I got it, Asuka says over and over. Miz wants a tag. They argue. She chops in the chest, and that counts as a tag. Miz says she cost them their one loss. Truth with a roll up, 2 count. Shoulder blocked by Truth. He gives Miz a quick dance, hits a hurricanrana, and pops Miz right in the face. Miz recovers, fights back. Truth taunts him a bit, dodges a clothesline, hip toss, and knocks Miz out of the floor. And the action can be found in this link. I told Divas Hep says at WWE Asuka has everything under control. Carmella hops in the ring for a quick dance break. Carmella and Truth want a dance break from Asuka, who dances a bit on the apron. Miz yells at her to get her head in the game and ends up getting sent into the ring. Truth with a bunch of pops in the corner. Miz shoves him off and kicks Truth in the face. Miz is able to get back into the ring in the match for a moment. Truth with a back suplex. Miz lands on his feet. DDT by Miz, covers. Carmella slides into the pin to break it up. Miz tries a moonwalk, and Carmella can't even bear to watch it. Miz was the it kicks to Truth. Miz misses the last one, rolled up by Truth. 2 count. Both are up quickly. Miz with a clothesline. Truth is able to drop Miz and slowly makes his way to tag out. Carmella with a couple clotheslines sends Asuka face into Her foot in the corner. Carmella with a Bronco Buster. Nobody home. Asuka looks for a suplex. Carmella screams to put her down. Asuka does for a moment. Then hits a jumping knee. Low drop kick. Pin for a 2 count. Carmella shoves Asuka back to Miz, which counts as a tag. Truth drops Miz with a kick. Covers. Asuka stops that. Carmella is in and she stops away on the mat. Tries for a super kick. Miz pulls Asuka in front of him. Moves. Truth distracts him. Carmella with a super kick on Miz. Truth drops Miz. Covers. Very close. 3 count. And that can be found on this link. At Toni Recepts, at WWE, at Carmella WWE's super kick hits the target. But maybe not the target she originally had in mind. Both Carmella and Truth get sent out of the ring. Asuka finally sees Miz and is not happy. She starts yelling at him in Japanese. Miz says he didn't pull her in front of the kick. She's heated. Miz says they aren't. They are a team, and let's get things done. Asuka looks to agree and then obliterates Miz with a bunch of punches and kicks, and then just heads out to the back. Truth with an unprettier covers for a 2 count. 4 to 3. 1, 2, 3. And that can be found at this link. And Toni Recepts says at WWE Asuka has finally had enough of the Miz. Winners of the match and advance to the finals. Truth and Carmella by pinfall. It will be R-Truth, and Carmella versus Jinder Mahal and Alicia Fox at TLC. The winners get the 30th spot in the men and women's Royal Rumble matches and along with their vacation. Probably just a few days. My prediction for that will probably be Jinder Mahal as number 30. Dark main events that happened after WWE tapings in Las Vegas saw Rey Mysterio defeat Randy Orton. Orton and Rey will battle at Sunday TLC pay-per-view in a chairs match. And that concludes my results for SmackDown, Mixed Match Challenge, and 205 Live. So see one of you. If you don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters. Ooh, yeah. Dig it. Same 3-4 time, same 3-4 channel.